Hi there, this is Rachel. I'm just going to post my response video. I enjoyed listening to the videos that you all posted. I think it was an interesting module, and it was helpful that you guys kind of everyone kind of went in like different directions. So it was helpful for me to kind of understand some different perspectives. Um, excuse me. I think I'm just going to kind of go video by video. I think that's the easiest way and talk about some things that stuck out to me. So, Kevin, I liked that you kind of went the criminal justice route. I, too, was a political science and criminal justice major. That's what my undergrad degree's in, so I liked hearing kind of what you had to say. I agree with you for the most part. About that's statistics, less likely to be arrested, tried, convicted, etc. I would just question about the profiling. Now, yes, I agree. The African Americans probably overall are profiled, but I just wonder about um, other races that are profiled, probably just as much. I mean, you think about Hispanics probably always being profiled that they are illegal, or Middle Eastern kind of profiled, especially after 9/11. So I agree with you. I just think it's worth mentioning other races, and I think it's also worth, I don't know if you got the chance to watch the video where Stephen Smith talked about white people that, are sagging their pants or tattoos everywhere, or that kind of have an appearance. Like, I think that they may face not as much. I'll say that it's probably definitely more in the minority community, but I just think that it does exist. And then I liked how you talked about the school to prison pipeline. I have never heard that before. It's it's sad, really. But I'm sure that, some of those schools, the teachers, either whether they're paid enough or not, is whether they can really help every single student in their class um, when they're up against um, such tough odds, really. So I just thought that was interesting. And then where you talked about the role playing, it reminds me of it's a little bit different, but if you've ever done like a it's like a poverty simulation, and you kind of like get the opportunity to feel what it's like to live like paycheck to paycheck. Again, not the same thing, but I think that those are really real situations, and I went through like the poverty simulation, and it was really like eye opening to me. Like, wow, I either have to choose to eat or get to work. So anyway, it's just I like that you mentioned that. Moving on to Jimmy's video, I think you bring an interesting perspective when you talk about character development and education of students. I agree with that, and I would say that um, that I agree that students learn better from their peers. The only thing, especially in these situations, the only thing that I would be weary of with the student leadership program is whether the students are able to make those connections by themselves without it being just a huge argument. So, to an extent, I agree. I too had the thoughts about privilege and people being offended by it, but I think that's all in how you explain it, though. I think we need to think back to like what the root of the privilege comes from, and just talk about just where it comes from, and not that it's about your accomplishments or what if you worked hard or not. It's not really about that. So I think that the leadership like course is a good idea, but I would just wonder like students leading by a positive example, but I would just be interested if that would be like a mandatory program or if it would be optional. Because if it's optional, you're probably only really going to get those people that are open to learning. Whereas if it was like a mandatory program for, say, all incoming freshmen, or so that would be my only thing. But I think it's a good idea overall. And then Megan, I liked your passive ideas. I think that I don't I guess, not to say that I don't know how honest people would be about it. I think that they probably would say what their race means to them. I just wonder, without having like a sit down kind of conversation overall, how many, not how many people it would affect, but like if people would really get the same idea out of it, like going by and reading these signs, like, oh, okay, I see what your race means to you, but what does it really mean to you, or what kind of situations have you really been in where you have seen it work against you, or whatever. Also, I like that you mentioned like implementing within the housing program. I think our RAs go through a lot of training, and we go through diversity training, we go through social justice training with them, and I agree that some kind of training with or some kind of program with the residents would be good. I would just be careful. Just because a lot of the residents are within the same space, and if there's like someone that's not on board or someone that does not agree or someone that's open about being racist or homophobic or whatever, I would just, like they're all living in the same space and it's such close quarters, and then, this happened, and then there's hostility for the rest of the year, and then next thing you know, there's like graffiti on bulletin boards, and because we see that, we see it regularly. So I think it's a good conversation. I think just the structure for that would be really, really important. So, but overall, really enjoyed your videos and ideas that you had, and looking forward to hearing your response videos to mine as well. Thank you.